Teresa and Michael Fowler. We have been members of this church for about 2.5 years. I was getting ready to go to Ghana, and we were in between churches and looking, and Michael felt very strongly that we needed a home church before I went back to Ghana. I worked mainly in Atlanta in internal medicine and practiced there for almost 40 years. I closed my solo private practice, I guess 4 or 5 years ago, merged my practice with the Piedmont system, was with them the last 3 years, and then I retired to move on to do something different, and promptly found the Good Samaritan Clinic, which I love.
My efforts have been more in the line of try to teach them to fish, try to remove barriers, work with organizations that she's involved with to try to make them more effective and efficient. So I try to add my part. While she's out with the snakes and the mosquitoes and the heat and humidity, I'm basically in a boardroom or a back room trying to work with organizations that way.
In the Larigu, Ghana, the missionary that we replace over there is Baptist, so he has to put some ye's and therefores and thous in it. So he talks about go ye to the end of the world and then go a little further, and that's where Larigu, Ghana is. So I guess that's been one of our main efforts for a number of years, going over there and replacing him at a Bush medical hospital.
Another mobile health ministry that Terry helped found about 28 years ago, her and a few others bought a yellow school bus to equip with medical equipment and began to tour the state to serve those that didn't have health care otherwise. That's now expanded into 2 large vans with 3 dental chairs and equipment each and medical equipment, and travel all the time, and we were very active with that organization.
We carried Elizabeth with us. Our first trip was to Brazil, I suppose family mission trip with this organization we're part of, to see how she did and how we did and whether we could parent her adequately and still have some effectiveness on the mission field, and that made us feel like it was possible, and she was old enough to manage.
That first surgery was a girl she had befriended that had been bit by a snake, which has caused a lot of death over there, along with malaria and such. But the girl had to have her leg amputated above the knee and the thigh area because of her snake bite to save her life. And Elizabeth taught us a lot at that point. She came back wanting to take every dollar she could find. She didn't want gifts. She wanted to raise enough money to send this girl off to a town to get her leg fitted for her and taught to use, and it really changed the way we looked at giving and gifting from there on. Our Christmas presents now are toilet paper and dental floss wrapped up, and we focus our money on trying to help somebody.
And goats and chickens for heaven.
Well, our partners would give her a nice wine and such. She would give them a rabbit or a goat or a chicken, depending on what she liked them.
I think it's made me depend more on him. I certainly aim to step out in faith. I think Ephesians says our salvation is by faith, not by works, not through works, but it is also to do good works out of obedience. And I think it's really made me stretch, many times get out of my comfort zone and do things that I really did not think I wanted to do. Felt sure I didn't want to do them and wasn't comfortable doing them, but when I felt very clear that that was what my calling was, step out and do them, and he has enabled me or helped me to accomplish whatever he wanted to do. I mean, it's his work for me. I mean, our race, we're supposed to finish our race by doing the job that God has assigned to us.
Everybody has gifts. Everybody has abilities to use those gifts and make the most of them and do what God wants them to do. And Terry would be a blessing whether she had gone to med school or not. Her heart's in it, and our heart's in the right place, and that's what counts. And we all have talents and skills, even me, that can be helpful to somebody, even though we may not realize it. You got to listen for that calling and answer it when it comes.